That time of year, everybody. Now 6 days away from the start of the Sixers season, 5 for the NBA. And we got to put our predictions on the record right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. Coming to you live from the Xfinity Lounge. It's Derek, Kyle, I'm Devon. Bree, she's the president of basketball operations, keeping us in check this entire day as we go along with our season predictions. Rookie of the Year, MVP, NBA champ, Coach of the Year, all of that stuff that we got wrong last season. Well, at least the guys got their champion right with OKC.
Hold on a second.
We're going back at it this year, and we got to do it and put it on record here today, right before the start of the season. We are brought to you by Rothman Orthopedics. Visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY. As we go along, we want to hear what you have to say about these categories that we will run out there. See who's right, see who's wrong, and we can't wait to see what you have to say. Derek, you were about to start it off already with the disagreement. What was it?
Well, I think we got the MVP right, didn't we? Didn't we have Shai?
We all had Shai.
And I think I had a bold prediction of Jimmy Butler getting traded.
You did.
So you
have
only
that.
remember your victories. That's not a bold prediction.
Bold at the time was not exactly like. It was not water is wet, but it also wasn't splitting the atom. So
I'm just saying it wasn't the only one.
All right, so we're going to run through these here on the show today. I have a question for all of you out there as we go along with the Sixers. Any Sixers player or coach, will they have a good enough season to qualify for any of these individual awards as the season plays out?
No.
Okay, cool. There you go. End of the show. Thank you so much, everybody.
When we get to the point that I feel strongly about one of those, I'll throw their name in the mix.
Okay.
You'll have to wait and see.
All right, so there you go. All right, let's get ready to get started. Make sure you, Bree has it. I don't have it. Like and subscribe to the show, everybody. We don't need it. Like and subscribe to the show. Hit that like button. Tell Bree how much you love the great job that she is doing. You like our show. You're into everything that we're doing. Let's get to it, Bree. Number one category to start things off, we are going with immediately, right from the start. As we get things going here on the show, we got a bunch of categories.
Oh, boring.
That's stunning. I did not expect you to pick Jokic.
Look, it could have been Giannis. It could have been Shai. It could have been Luka. Luka has been getting a lot of love for the MVP this year.
I almost went with Luka, but I am not confident enough in the Lakers being good.
And he's always got a little bit of an injury concern, too.
Yeah, so straightforward for Jokic. He's always in the mix. He could have won last year. Like
you could argue last year was his best year.
He always has a chance because the numbers are just gargantuan in all the major categories. His efficiency is great. He's not been much of an injury risk.
No, he's played
his entire
70
career.
plus pretty much every year.
Right, so he's tailor-made to be in the MVP mix every year. And the reason I ultimately went with him is because I believe all those things will continue to be true, and I think the team is going to be better.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Nuggets will win more games. I think with some roster tweaks, I think with full year under a new coach, I think that gives them a bump as well. He obviously did some nice things in that short playoff run that they had and allowed them to get it to a Game 7 with the Thunder, which that was crazy considering the various injuries they were dealing with. So I feel like it's set up for, okay, Shai won everything last year, and there are some people who are like, oh, I can't believe I could vote against Jokic. So it'll be a little bit of a rubber band effect, and I think he's the clear favorite and probably deserves to be.
I agree. What do you think?
No, I mean, I to Kyle's point, I think there are a lot of voters who didn't want to vote against Jokic last year. But the regular season record discrepancy was so big that they felt like they had to. And look, SGA covered up a lot of the ground of the advanced analytic debate. Not completely, but got closer to Jokic than most previous MVP contenders did. But he plays 70-plus games every year, like legitimately every year. He puts up, last year was arguably the best statistical season of his career. And SGA has his. And SGA is the other main contender, I think. To Kyle's point, Luka, I'm a little worried about the team aspect of it. SGA and Jokic are the two that they're going to be a 1-2 seed most likely. And it just feels like he's going to put up ridiculous video game stats. The voters are predisposed to wanting to vote for those stats and vote for his on-off number. Like whether it gets caught up sometimes as an advanced analytics debate. His counting stats are ridiculous
right, like the
too.
basic statistics are very
And then
good.
you look at the advanced stats and the on-off splits and all of that. And if the records are close, I think it's going to go to Jokic. And I do think it's going to be closer this year. Not that, the Thunder won't win 1 billion games, but I think Denver has a clear pathway to being the number 2 seed.
All right, Dave P. LaMelo MVP in the chat.
Well, here's my question. If you look at the top 4 as Jokic, SGA, Giannis, and Luka, who do you think is the most likely 5th person?
Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
Brunson's got a good case. I think if Mitchell has another good year and the Cavs win a ton of games, he'll probably get in the conversation.
His always just seems that, let's just throw it in there. Like it never seemed like it's real for him to win.
Yeah.
Just throw him in there. Brunson is different because of the New York angle where it's that city and all of that, bringing the Knicks back to relevancy the way that they have done. That's why I say Brunson over Mitchell.
Here's a dark horse, Steph. Because if you look at the pace that they played at, winning pace, I should say, they're at like a 61 win pace with Jimmy at the end of the year. Granted, it's end of the season, small sample. They're old, right? So injuries could be a concern, and that would be one of my main things with Steph, right? Is he going to get to the 65 game threshold to win enough games to play that level? But I could definitely see, because we'll get to a LeBron topic at some point later on, but I could see this being like this is the last hurrah for Steph. He has an incredible year. And if he has an incredible year, I think the story and the narrative behind that will become very compelling. So I certainly think he could get in the mix as well.
How many games does Spurs have to win for Wemby to get votes? 50?
I don't want to spoil all my Spurs stuff yet. So
yeah, playoff team though.
Definitely playoff team. I think you can't be a play-in team. Got to be top 6. So I would say in the West, that probably means
at least
45.
Yeah, playoff team though.
45 to 48, somewhere in that range.
All right.
Yes.
We all agree. And by the way, we all agree on Nikola Jokic. None of us know. We sent these to Bree Cole. No one knows who submitted what to Bree. Only she knows. So we all agree.
I have a feeling there's going to be consensus on DPOY. If
I think so. Yeah.
Did we happen to just talk about him?
I think we did last year too.
I have an inclination.
I do think we got that.
I think we did it last year too. He just got hurt. All right, let's go to the next category on this one.
Wow. Real shocker.
He blocks 4 shots a game.
So the big thing with him, unlike with Jokic,
he's got to stay healthy.
I am concerned about the health stuff, right? Last year he had the DVT is what knocked him out. But so a lot of people have made a big deal about, he's listed at now, that he keeps getting taller. And then Boban did an interview within the last week or two where he said, dude, I'm 7'4". This guy's taller than me. And people were like, oh my God, what is he, 7'7"? And in the back of my head, I was like, that's honestly not good in terms of the long term and even maybe the short to medium term. The higher you get in the air and the more wear and tear that you're going to put on those legs, I worry about that all the time with Wemby. He is an incredible player, spectacular talent, but I can't help it. The anxiety creeps in. It's like, this is one of the biggest human beings I've ever seen in my life. And I want him to play as long as possible for as much as possible, but who knows? But assuming he can get to that 65 game threshold, he is so far and away the biggest impact player on that end. I just don't know how anyone else could win it unless he's hurt. If he does get hurt, I think I would probably lean Chet Holmgren could get in the mix for this award, but it's Wemby's award to lose as far as I'm concerned.
It's not just the 10% block rate or the 4 blocks per game. Like his defensive rebounding rate's like 30%. It's like very, very good as well. My real question with Wemby though, last year you famously got up here and yelled at him for not having a bag. Does he have a bag now?
Dude, he's got the like Buddhist monk bag after this. He met with Hakeem. He was on a silence retreat overseas. Like I'm all in on Wemby this year. Bree will tell you when we get there. I did subtract one of my bold predictions that had to do with the Spurs, but I feel good about him going into this year for sure.
We all selected him last year. He got hurt, didn't win it. Evan Mobley won. This year, we're selecting him again, and that's probably going to be the case as long as he's healthy to start seasons off, and he keeps growing all the way up to 7'10", and we have to make sure that we include him in that conversation.
7'10". Did you guys consider anybody else?
Nope.
No, but my dark horse, since you said Chet, would be Mobley again.
Yeah.
And Dyson Daniels also crossed my mind.
I honestly, because like the only way I would justify picking anyone else is the injury, and I just don't want to go into this thinking like he's going to get injured.
Yeah.
So I didn't even rank anyone after that.
There you go. Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year. Congratulations, my man. Now stay healthy.
I'm knocking on wood, and I'm just
stay healthy.
Please stay healthy, Wemby.
Yes,
and
indeed.
everybody else for that matter. We don't root for injuries for anyone on this show.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next one. We're going to Rookie of the Year. Any surprises here on Rookie of the Year?
We went with the 3 most boring ones.
Are we going chalk?
Right out the chute.
We went chalk.
It will get more interesting as the show goes on.
I mean, we've all seen him so far in the preseason. We know, even before he was drafted, we were like, this guy's going to be one Rookie of the Year. So I guess the only thing, Derek, is who is the other candidate maybe that you would consider for Rookie of the Year behind Flagg that could overtake him?
That's a good question because I don't feel like Harper is necessarily going to get as much like being a focal point to earn the reward. VJ, again, I don't think he's going to get the ball enough. And also, even if he starts the year as a starter, like they are trying to make the playoffs. So who knows whether or not he's going to stay as a starter.
You don't want to say it, but we can just say it.
It might be Khan.
Oh, I was
going
to say.
It might be Ace.
It might be Ace.
Ace might be the
has
runner-up.
A good shot.
Yeah,
Ace
he's going to get looks for sure. He's going to get shots.
I know you don't want to say it over there,
No,
but it's okay to say. Like
he's going to
I think
get
he's
shots
got a good
for
shot.
sure.
Yeah.
But
Brian says, VJ is Rookie of the Year, you cowards. Go for it. No, Ace is, I mean, we've seen how it goes. And Cody Williams would be in front of Ace Bailey right now if he had panned out in his first 2 seasons. He hasn't. So that has opened the window for Ace Bailey to walk right in if Cody Williams, again, hasn't done much. And while Bryce Sensabaugh looks good and they have some other wings, Ace Bailey right there in that mix for that wing position has a really good opportunity to win this or get a lot of shots and win this award.
And a lot of this is about the opportunity that you have. Like you go back, Rookie of the Year doesn't always have a great track record. And especially if you are a rookie trying to play on a team that has a chance to make the playoffs and contend, like Harper, like VJ, I think that's going to hurt.
We got a pump sighting.
Oh, boy.
We got a pump sighting.
But he changed the avatar. It's
Yes,
no
he
longer.
did.
Is that the real Brian Pumper? Do we
I don't
know?
But he went with the Ace Bailey. Kyle, what do you think? Do you have a dark horse? Is it Ace?
Oh, I mean, I don't think that anyone who gets taken top 5 is really a dark horse.
Just because of the
It's
anyone
the
winning over
cement
Cooper, though,
of
would
Flagg,
be a huge
and
upset.
That's why
I guess so. Yeah, look, I think so. You guys know Derek and I were both big believers in Trey, more than Devon for the record. So if we get that right, we get more credit. I just want to be on.
He was in on Trey.
He was the initial believer, and then he softened in the end. So no conviction from the man in the middle here.
That was for the Sixers.
I think Trey could put together a resume. The one thing that I do think is going to hold him back is that there are a lot of vet guards that appear to be playing in front of him right now. And I don't know that he's going to get that immediate opportunity. With Ace, I think he's going to play right away. And I think they already, from what we've seen in the preseason, they have a pretty good idea of how they want to use him, which also happens to be in the way that he should be used. Like it plays into his strengths the most. So I think he's got a pretty clear shot. If you were talking about a real dark horse, I might buy some Malawach stock. Just because whenever there's a guy who's that size and can create a highlight, people notice that a little bit more. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the Flagg type territory, but
my
he's
issue
someone
with
I
him
would keep an eye on.
Was just time because he has, while the 2 centers shouldn't be in front of him the way that they are long term, but if they play well enough, they could keep him off the floor unless they trade one of those 2 guys, on Mark Williams and Nick Richards, which they probably will at some point during the season because they don't need all 3. But that's an interesting one with Malawach there with the Phoenix Suns. All right, we're going to take a break because we don't know if there's a consensus with Coach of the Year that will be up next here from the 3 of us. We're going to take a break. Our first pause
I would
of
be
the
pretty
day.
stunned if we get consensus on Coach of the Year.
Especially with how we did last year. Like, I hope for our own sake we
got
split that up a
got
little
fired,
bit.
man. I mean,
I will spoil it. I went a little safer this year.
we got fired last year. Hope we don't do that again. I think one of our guys might be safe. We'll see. First pause of the day. It's the NBA season prediction show here from the PHLY Sixers group. We've already had 3 in the books. We'll get to the Coach of the Year and more on the other side right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast.
And guys, with NBA season right around the corner, you want to make sure that when you get to a spot, it is ready to go. No lagging, no buffering. It has to be good to go. Because if you claim to be a big basketball fan, you have to have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination where you can find the best games and your favorite teams all in one place. The way that you watch is next level. Got all the action right in your living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K. It's so clear it feels like you're in the arena. Top of that, you get real-time notifications and live stats right on your TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
And the weather is still just good enough for all of you to get those golf sessions in before it gets too cold. And maybe your shoulders stiffening up on you a little bit. Maybe the back's tightening up and it's giving you a little bit of trouble, but you got to go out there and do it because you know you're running out of time. Well, that's where Rothman Orthopedics does come into play. When joint pain or injury disrupts your routine, like your golf, getting the right care shouldn't be a hassle. Rothman Orthopedics makes it very easy with convenient office locations throughout the region, plus walk-in centers and urgent cares when you need help fast. So if joint pain is bothering you, whether it's a new injury or something that's been bothering you for a while, expert orthopedic care is just around the corner. Schedule your appointment today at rothmanortho.com/PHLY to learn more. Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility, our mission.
Nick, obviously we were told Paul was able to do a lot today, 5-on-5 live, things like that. I guess where you kind of seeing as days go by, his progression is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's we are trying to get him through the thresholds of 5-on-0 to some smaller numbered live action yesterday, and then he jumped into a bit of 5-on-5 live today, Sue. So again, just trying to keep them moving in the right direction. Yeah.
Is there optimism about either tomorrow or the opener? Is that
For
still
Paul?
Yeah.
No, I think yesterday's his first day alive,
sure.
and today was, small number live, and today was a short amount of 5-on-5. So we have to just keep waiting. Yeah.
Practice here in the town before they get ready for their tune-up game, the final one.
Paul George, Coach of the Year incoming.
Yep, Paul George, All-NBA, back in the mix. Just get right to it, man. Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers podcast. Nick Nurse, could he be in the Coach of the Year conversation here as we put our predictions up? But pregame, no pregame tomorrow, just postgame for the Sixers and the Timberwolves tomorrow. Maybe we'll see a lot of the regulars on the floor as they get ready for the start of the season. Said it right there. Paul George, doubt that he plays tomorrow, but it's just a little idea. Maybe next Wednesday, maybe a little Paul George in Boston, maybe.
We shall see.
We will find out. Make Kyle look good on his prediction yesterday of the opening night starting 5. All right, let's get to the Coach of the Year here on the show.
Oh, look at that. I don't know if that's good after last year. But
So he was Adelman was on my short list. He was probably my runner-up, if I'm being honest. I think they're a better team, and they love when a new coach comes in and they have a better record and they're a little more functional. They love giving that award to them.
yeah, I think for me, it's as simple as I'm buying in on the Nuggets, buying in on the Jokic MVP season, the difference Cam Johnson will make.
Yeah.
And I liked what I saw from Edelman down the stretch, right? Like he got them to buy into some new stuff fairly quickly. And I think they have a ceiling somewhere in the mid to high 50s. Whether they get there, I don't actually know, right? But I think a lot of seeds are already being planted that will help them out. The other part is, as I look at some of the other candidates, so like Mosley, someone I would consider because I generally like the Magic. But as I got closer to the season, I was like, I could see a bunch of these East teams just being, like 45 to high 40s win teams. and not really blowing the doors off of anyone, where then you get into if that's the case, if nobody really emerges, then the coach of the year is going to come from somewhere at or near the top, right? So maybe it's the Knicks, but I don't know that Mike Brown is going to even be considered. That'll be more people saying.
And he
hey,
won one already,
yeah.
so they'll probably just.
So I don't think he'll truly be in the mix. Daigneault at this point, like, is he going to get in the mix if they win 60-plus games again? Probably not. And so Edelman felt like a kind of compromise on that idea for me.
The only other one I considered was really outside of Mosley was Quinn Snyder with the Atlanta Hawks. That's right there in the mix.
That's a good one.
With the Orlando Magic because of how good of an offseason we thought they had, getting Jalen Johnson back healthy. Rishai Shea was pretty good last year. Dyson Daniels, adding Karis LeVert and Nickeil Alexander-Walker to their team. Oh, pardon, Karis LeVert is in Detroit. I apologize. I'm talking about Nickeil Alexander-Walker and what they have. They have a really good basketball team, and Quinn Snyder, I thought, was worthy of a conversation here. I wanted to go like super dark horse because when we were talking Spurs, I was really wondering like,
I almost threw
Mitch
him in
Johnson,
there. I almost threw him in
Could
there.
he do it? But then I was like, I don't know if he can do it yet because I don't know how Fox is going to look with everything yet.
The guard combo is just kind of funky to sort out.
Yep. Brian Knight is Jason Kidd is another good one because I do think Dallas is going to be better. But I ultimately went with Edelman just because of what Kyle laid out. Second best team in the West, I think. Jokic is going to be that good. And Cam Johnson, Bruce Brown, for whatever you want to say about Bruce Brown from seeing him in Indiana and Toronto, Bruce Brown in Denver, even though there's a different coach there, he knows how to play with them.
Yep.
And if you get a healthy Gordon and Murray to start the season and they stay healthy throughout, I think they're going to, again, be the second best team in the Western Conference. And I don't think it's going to be, it could be close because I think Minnesota is also good. But I just think that Edelman is the one that's going to get this one.
For me, Kyle got, I guess it was a little bit of a pushback because he was big on the Magic last year. I think
I still
third
am
overall.
pretty big on the Magic. I just don't know if they'll be a great regular season team.
They ended up going 500. But I think it was kind of lost. I had Orlando fourth in the East, so I was equally disappointed. Not quite as much as Kyle. And I had Mosley as coach of the year last year as well. So I'm running it back. I think this is the year they get it done. You know, they had a number 2 ranked defense last year that led them to that 500 record, but their offense was pretty much a disaster. Last in the league in shooting. I think they're 27th in offense. Bane was a big acquisition for them. They really, really need his skill set.
Yeah.
We can argue whether or not they overpaid for it, but that doesn't, like, at the end of the year, when you're looking at coach of the year, you're not going like, well, did they get good value with those drafts? Nobody
Exactly.
cares. You're just going to see an improvement. I do think they're going to be significantly better, both because of Bane, both because of their young players getting a little bit better, and then also just because the East took a step back in very significant ways. I could see them winning like high 40s games, and if they do that, I think he has a real chance.
We get to see them third game of the season at home here in South Philly against the Sixers. After Boston and Charlotte, we will get the Orlando Magic on that Monday following the Saturday game home opener against the Charlotte Hornets. Mosley, a great choice there as well. A few Jason Kidds in there in the chat for Coach of the Year. Dallas should be very good. All right.
I'm very skeptical about the Mavericks other than Cooper Flagg. Just the team construction, I am not.
I mean, it feels like they
with.
need Kyrie to come back, and then they need one trade.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're a team in need of a consolidation trade, I think.
All right, let's get to the very next one here on our prediction show. Are we going with the most improved, Bree? Let's go most improved next up.
Devon and I are really in lockstep today.
So that was almost a clean sweep. Like, Amen was the one I should have picked, and I knew I should have picked. It just felt a little bit too obvious.
And to be clear, this is how I view people voting on most improved and not how I think the award should work. Like, if anything, I might have said last year would be a most improved season for Amen, where he really bursts onto the scene. Although it is
100%.
early in his career.
Yeah.
So you a
jump
little bit
from
expect
1
that,
to 2
but
was
made a big
massive.
jump.
Yeah.
But I think now that he's on the radar and now that he's on this team that a lot of people have expectations for.
And there may be a new role for him as a point guard more than with the injury to Fred VanVleet.
I just think he's going to play more. I think there's going to be more shine on him. People come in expecting him to be very good. And that could cut against him, right? If he comes in and the shot's not there and he doesn't play all that well, that could be an issue. But tremendous two-way player. Like, he's going to be a guy who is probably first-team all-defense.
Yep.
At worst, second-team all-defense. And potentially in the top of the voting for DPOY for perimeter players, right? So big believer in Amen, and I just think he has another good year and he gets it. But I want this to be this award used to be more of like unknown guys coming out of nowhere, rather than what it's become, which is second or third year player makes a leap. And you, like last year, I picked Cade Cunningham, and we sort of laughed about it. It's like you expect the number one pick to get better, and yet that's exactly how people vote on these awards.
I mean, the candidate you're talking about that it should be is who predicted Ty Jerome would be that good?
Yes.
That kind of thing.
That would be more my flavor of most improved player.
Yeah, so I don't have a lot to add to Amen Thompson. The two-way ability, the fact that he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more now because of the injury to Van Vliet. Still don't know about Reed Shepherd. You have a pretty good idea about Amen Thompson, and now he's going to have an opportunity once again to play with Kevin Durant. Another year improved. That defensive versatility that he has is amazing, and the confidence, you could just see it. And getting that playoff under his belt where he, quite frankly, didn't play all that well. So that's just another thing where these guys are hungry and they want to come back and they want to prove that was not what you saw during the regular season was me, not what you saw in the postseason when you last saw me and I did not perform well on the biggest stage. I think that guy's going to be ready. Yep. And I think he's going to be that good. And yours, though, that was a pretty good one, too.
It just comes down to opportunity. Like, obviously, Mathurin's going to get a lot more shots. He's going to put up more numbers. People are putting up pretty good scoring numbers. They're going to need Nembhard to really handle the ball a little bit, push the pace a little bit. And if he makes shots, who knows? But I don't think he's necessarily going to be a significantly better player, but he's going to get so much more opportunity with the ball in his hands that.
And look, he's got a great head coach who is going to maximize the talents of the guys he has. So I think that is certainly within the realm of possibility, especially this is a momentum award at this point, right? Where last year, Nembhard really kind of leapt forward in terms of the
if he can shoot in the regular season like he did in the playoffs, and he'll be good to go.
Yeah. So I think more people know who he is now. And I'm not saying that that's how media should vote, and that's how it works. But this is a player who has more opportunity, a bigger platform, et cetera. So I think that's a perfectly reasonable pick too.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We're going 6-man here, Bree. You want to go? Let's go 6-man of the year.
This one was I agonized over this.
So did I.
Just threw a dart.
Two. I had two, but I went with.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to go Josh Hart also because of the Mitchell Robinson starting option now with Karl Anthony Towns at the 4, Mitchell Robinson at the 5. And I was looking at Josh Hart's number. I'm like, career-wise, he's right there in that mix. But generally, they go with the scoring and not the player who can do all the everything,
Right, like
there.
Caruso is a guy who could be a 6-man of the year player if you considered the whole defense and glue guy stuff.
Which never gets factored into that award.
So in this one, I just went with DeAndre Hunter. They're going to be good again. They won 60+ games last season. He came in midseason, had some big games. He's not going to start. He's a very good starter in the league. He has the potential to be I'm not going to say great because I don't think, but for this role of a 6-man, he has the potential to be, if he's healthy, a great 6-man on that team that's going to win 50+, high 50+ games, 55 and up. And I just chose the guy on what could be one of the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference, and I think he's that good.
Yeah. I mean, that was part of my reasoning with Hart, like a top team in the Eastern Conference, clearly. And I do think, like, if it was just like him putting up like 12 points and 9 boards or whatever, then maybe they don't factor that in too much. But I think the growth in his passing and playmaking over the last 2 or 3 years puts him into a pretty unique stat line where the uniqueness of the stat line, along with the winning, along with the guy who had just been a starter for the last couple of years, getting pushed down to the bench because of Mitchell Robinson starting, I think that has a chance.
So I had 3 guys that I really considered for this. I went with LeVert because he's always going to give you buckets off the bench. I think that Detroit team is going to be good again. Now, opportunity, we'll see, right? Because Cade Cunningham is going to dominate touches. They have to reintegrate Jaden Ivey. There are a lot of guys to sort through there in Detroit. But I think if Detroit is very good, I think part of that will be because LeVert has a good year. He's a natural bench scorer. He's the type of player that these awards tend to go through. Two other guys I considered, Nikola Alexander Walker and Atlanta. Again, think they're going to be a pretty good team.
When you give him that contract, you better give him some opportunity too.
I think he's going to start too many games. I think there's a good chance that he just plays himself out of that designation entirely. The other guy, and this will be my first Sixers mention of the show. Well, I think you're thinking someone different. I think Quentin Grimes could get in the mix for this, right? And I've seen some Jared McCain mentions in the chat. I do think that Quentin Grimes is someone who should start for this team, but I'm not convinced they're going to start him for this team. And so if you have him coming in off of the bench and doing the Quentin Grimes things that we saw last season on top of spot starts and playing the 3-and-D, playing that glue guy, spot-up shooter type of role, attack closeouts, and the Sixers have a good season, I think there's a pretty compelling case there if they have a good year. So I think him or potentially McCain are maybe not near the top of this conversation, but I think they could get in there at some point for sure.
No, if they spend the year starting Kelly over Grimes while starting VJ, I will probably lose my mind just because of the lack of shooting, and I don't want to lose my mind, so I'm not voting for that. But McCain was if there was a Sixer that was going to make this list, McCain on the sixth man was what I was thinking about.
My dark horse one was Hunter's teammate, and that was Lonzo Ball. The only problem
I gotta say, he looked pretty good this week when I saw a glimpse of him in the preseason.
The only problem is he misses too many games.
Yeah.
And that was my pullback and just went straight to Hunter. All right, we got all those in. And good interaction from all of you in the chat, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys got to be on the record, too. It's fun to laugh at us
That's
when
right.
we're wrong. I can't wait to laugh at you when you're wrong,
We need to set, because we set up a Google Doc for the draft,
Yeah.
for big boards. We need to set up a Google Doc so we can, when you try to laugh at us next year, we can throw
the next
receipts
set
back.
of predictions, I assume, after we talk about some of our friends, is when things are really going to go haywire.
Yes,
So
indeed.
I
So
can't wait for that.
Let's take our final pause. Get ready for those other predictions for the NBA season. And will the Sixers be in there in the mix with some names or the team overall? We'll let you know on the other side right here as we hang out with you on our prediction show on this Thursday right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. You got to get ready for some Thursday night football tonight. And when you're ready to place your wagers for the game, you got to go to the AFC and this matchup of two teams that have all these battles every year in the same conference. That's Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Bet365 is the spot for you to go to place your wager. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And the Bet365 Thursday night touchdown is the option for you tonight. See for yourself with our Thursday night touchdown offer, placing a qualifying parlay bet totaling $20 or more on tonight's game and get bonus bets for every touchdown. Terms and conditions do apply. All you have to do is download the app, use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And new customers, the breaking news for you, you get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up. Use the code PHLY365 when you sign up. Deposit $10 and place a bet for $5, maybe on this Thursday night game, and you get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And guys, if your home needs a little TLC, or maybe you're just dreaming of that next big vacation, it could even be to see one of our local teams play an away game. I need you to listen up. TrueMark Financial's HELOC Select just got even better. Rates just dropped, making it more affordable to put your home's equity to work. Need a new kitchen, big repairs, maybe knock out some debt. We all deal with that from time to time. With HELOC Select, you can access your cash all at once or just when you need it. Total flexibility, just like a good game plan. Make it happen today. Visit one of TrueMark's 24 branches or head to truemark.com/PHLY. Get in the game today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender, NMLS 404938.
Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers podcast, presented by Rothman Orthopedics. We're coming to you live from the Xfinity Lounge. Make sure you sign up to become a Supporters Club member, everybody. We rolled it out just a little over a month ago, a little change there. And we have two tiers, $4.99 and $14.99. With your membership, you get unique behind-the-scenes footage each week, true sicko-level stuff. For the real ones, as you see on the screen, you get access to the exclusive emojis and much, much more behind-the-scenes footage, as we have mentioned. Make sure you go sign up at allphly.com right now. And also, make sure you sign up while you're there at allphly.com if you haven't done so for the Die Hard program that we have. Allphly.com, all the written stories, Discord access, events as well. Make sure you sign up. Become a Die Hard member at allphly.com. All right, let's keep it moving here. We got a lot of categories here for this bold prediction show.
As I say, next one is bold predictions, right? We each get two.
Well, first we're going all rookie.
That's right. That's right.
All rookie first team. So because this class is so good, everyone in the chat, we wanted to throw out our 5 rookies for the first team only.
I was very boring, so I'm going to spoil that in advance.
I think I might have
a
been
lot
too.
of fun.
I tried, but I didn't get there. Bree, what do we have for our rookie first teams?
All right, all have Flagg. We all have Ace. 2 of us have Harper. I'm the only one with Malawach.
2 of us have Khan.
And 2 of us have VJ.
I went with CMB. I went with CMB, and you went with Malawach. That is an upset.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what are you looking at with Kyle, Dylan, Harper? Both of you had them, so go with Harper first.
I think playing with Wemby is a cheat code.
Yeah.
I said that I was pretty high on the Spurs, and I thought about making a bold prediction with them. But I just think, like, with NBA spacing, all the stuff that we were like, I don't know if this is going to work, or like, man, the jumper is really important for him, and it is. It hasn't mattered at all in preseason games against real NBA competition. I think his operation of the pick and roll and playing in a true 5-out with NBA players and that offense with Wembanyama is going to open the world up for him. So I think the vision of idealized Harper, maybe you don't see that yet because the shot needs work, but I think he's going to be so good that that's not really going to matter.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit, Kyle referenced it earlier. It's just a funky guard rotation, and that was the only thing that really gave me pause.
That's why I left. I won't even get into this one. I just say that's why I left him off.
No, and like that gave me pause, like legitimate pause. But it is like such a great fit, horrible fit with your backcourt mate, great fit with your co-star and a franchise pillar. And I think eventually they're going to just give him the ball and let him cook because he's number 2 pick in the draft and he's really good at it.
Yeah, he's really good. Doesn't mean he doesn't make second team. We're just voting here for giving our picks here for the first team. Khan Knipple, we went with Khan as well, and
and Derek had
from
both
the
had
very
Khan.
start. It seemed like it was a really good spot for him to be in Charlotte, where you have a guy who is not worried about anything but playing basketball the right way. He's going to get a lot of really good looks because of LaMelo Ball, great passer that he is. And Brandon Miller's going to take up a lot of space there, and they're going to find him on the perimeter. He's going to get a lot of shots and make a lot of shots.
Yeah.
That's
I think he's one of the more NBA ready offensive players in the draft. So.
Yep, absolutely. Malawach.
He's big. He's going to make a lot of highlights because he's big. And there are some sequences I've already seen in the preseason where it's like, boy, if you put him with anybody competent in a pick and roll, he's going to look fantastic. I think some of the reads he's making in drop coverage as a defender are tremendous, right? So like, if he can avoid fouls, block shots, rebound the ball, which rebounding was a thing that we harped on with him, it needed to be better about. Like that the ceiling is there long term. Right? I think whether he gets there is certainly a big question, but I just think he's a wow player when he puts it together. And all rookie team, you can live with a lot of warts on the rookie team. This is a good class, but he's going to play a lot. He's going to get a lot of opportunities to put up decent stats. So I think he's in for a good year 1 after watching him a little bit.
Colin Murray-Boyles on there for us.
My dog. And I still didn't pick him.
Just the defense.
Yeah,
he's going to have a really good opportunity.
Like I think his stat line. And look, he made that 3 in the preseason, so I'm all on board.
I love that you said he made that 3.
But the rest of the stat line, I think he's going to get an opportunity because they really need his defensive versatility.
It's going to stand out.
And
they have so many scorers on that team.
I will
He's
say,
going to play.
That was the one I debated the most. Like, I wasn't 100% sure on when Queen was coming back injury and whether or not there would be a acclimation period because he's missed so much time and maybe the injury lingers or whatnot. But obviously, they're very invested in him, giving up that unprotected draft pick next year.
Yeah.
So they're going to give him every opportunity to succeed. And I even was talking with Hedvin in the chat there. I was even debating Young Hansen there because he just looks like he's
Bree will
ready to
tell you.
acclimate himself early on.
Bree texted me this morning and
I
said,
thought about it.
You have to take one off.
Yeah, he had 6.
It was him.
Yeah.
Yes, I had him on
You
there.
sent 6 in.
I said, and I put it in parentheses.
Devon is changing. It's
No.
the 3D bookshelf all
Bree,
over
tell
again.
him. I said it, and I said it when I
Or the
said it to
3D
Bree.
bookends. I'm sorry.
Right, Bree? I was like, I know I have to take one off. Let me sleep on it.
You had to sleep on it. It's fine. It's
That's
cool.
all I had to do. I had to sleep on
Okay.
it. You know who else I dark horse thought about because of the opportunity?
Well, I think
Kalkbrenner.
because
Because he's gonna play a
I don't
lot.
want to spoil anything.
Because he's going to play a lot. I really thought about him. All right, that's all rookie first team. A lot of second team guys that'll be in the mix as well. All right, we got 2 bold predictions.
then-
Now,
We
hold
had-
on a second. None of us talked about Ace and VJ.
We
Well,
skipped over Ace and
I mean,
BJ. Yeah.
we talk about them so much that we kind of.
But I think a lot of people would be surprised that 2 out of 3 of us didn't even have VJ on. And that all 3 of us had
I'm
Ace
the
on.
only believer in VJ planting my flag. Look, I get the.
I have
so,
VJ on there.
Did you?
Oh, did you?
VJ was on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the only skeptic is the guy over on the
Which is
left
funny
side.
because like I'm very high on him long term.
Yeah.
I'm worried a little bit about how much he's going to get the ball in his rookie year. I'm certainly worried about the shot as a rookie year. But long term, I'm still like he was a top 3-4 prospect. I've not changed on that.
I get it. I just choose to believe in the optimist case for now because I'm not going to sit here a week before the season starts and be like, man, I don't think he's going to hit threes. Like I kind of agree with you, but I can't get into that headspace right now.
All right, 5 more categories to go here on the show. So let's get to the very next one. Bree, we're going with the bold predictions here. Let's go.
Oh, here
bold
we go. This is
predictions.
always the best one.
This is the best one. Let's go bold predictions.
Let's see.
All right. Kyle says Flagg makes the All-Star team. Boy, did I think about this
First rookie since Blake Griffin.
Votes and votes from the fans. They love him. You also said the Rockets are a play-in team. Wow.
So I hedged on the Rockets here. I put Amen as most improved, but I said
So you're right no matter what
So I
happens.
said the Rockets will be a play-in team. So I think I'm going to be right on one of those. So I'm trying to accumulate points here one way or another. Here's my thing with the Rockets. I think a lot is riding on Reed Shepherd because that Fred VanVleet injury is a killer. Yeah. And if Amen Thompson doesn't shoot, you suddenly end up in an environment where it is a lot of guys right on top of each other on offense. I think Şengün is legit. I think Kevin Durant is a tremendous talent, but he is also old, often injured, and somehow always finds themselves on these teams that look great on paper, look great when they have everybody together, but for whatever reason, don't put it together. I think the West is a bloodbath. I think there's going to be one team that people go in with high expectations for and ultimately come away looking at how did they end up in the play-in? And so they ended up being my pick there. I think it could be easily a handful of teams there, but it's a bold prediction. So I'm going out on an island.
And also part of this is like playing in the West, the difference between like 3rd seed and playing in the West could be like 3 or 4 games. Like it could be very, very tight.
Yeah, that's a good one though. And the Flagg thing, I thought about that one so much. And then I said, you know what? I'm going in another direction because he's going to get votes. He's going to be in the mix until the final tally comes in. I ultimately believe that he will be passed over, but I do agree with you that will be in the mix. Derek, let's get to your bold predictions, and that was Derek White makes his first All-Star game.
So I thought White was actually a little bit bold just because I think everyone assumes, first of all, that the Celtics aren't going to win enough games to get 2 All-Stars. If anyone makes it, it's going to be Jaylen Brown. I'm a little worried about the injury lingering. And
now there are a lot of shots for Derek White coming up if Jaylen Brown's injured.
Well, and I also just feel like
we get to see it right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brown, if he's in and out of the lineup, and doesn't play 70 games or whatever, and also maybe as a number 1 option, you start seeing a little bit of the warts with him as a passer. All of a sudden, White comes in, scores a career high, has that all-around stat line. If they overachieve a little bit, I could see White like being a coaching, vote in or whatever, and they just loving his game.
Fair enough. And LeBron also.
For the first time
not
since his
making
rookie year.
an All-NBA team.
Which I am actually with Derek on this strictly because of the games played.
There's a 65-game minimum. He's going to miss like the first 8 games of the season or whatnot with his current injury. Doesn't leave him a lot of margin for error. It's a little bit of a cop-out, but given the fact that it hasn't happened since his rookie year, it feels like a bold
I was right there with you guys. Thought about that one as well. I'll throw mine in here in just under 60 seconds.
Devon was taking his notes when Derek predicted Jimmy Butler would get traded. He's like, give me an easy, bold prediction this year.
Because Lowry, Markkanen, and here's why it's now easier, because the value just Danny Ainge just misread this one, I think.
I think so too.
And in this one, he might have to move on from him before he can't, and he has to do it. Now, I think he's going to play well, especially coming off of the FIBA play that he had. He was really tremendous in FIBA play this summer, but that was my bold prediction. The other one was, as we talked about the Nuggets and our choices, Cam Johnson. I think he's going to lead the league in
He's going to enjoy
percentage.
playing with Nikola Jokic.
With Nikola Jokic there, I think he's going to do just that. So those are the bold prediction. I think he leads the league in three-point makes this year. Last year, it went down to the wire. Anthony Edwards and Malik Beasley. I think Edwards won by one made three-pointer at the last game of the season. All right, let's keep it moving.
I'm going to shock you guys, I think, with at least one of these when
Is
we're
this
doing sleeper teams.
Sleeper teams, baby. Let's go, Bree. Sleeper teams.
The Charlotte Hornets,
My choice
baby.
from last
I was going
year.
to say, you were a year early. Now I'm buying in when they're just above the ground. They're still kind of in the basement,
Oh, man.
but we're making a run for the play-in
Let's go.
this year.
Let's have at it.
So I'm not saying – so Kalkbrenner was brought up earlier, right?
Because that was one of my choices for first team all in East.
I'm not
listed.
expecting Ryan Kalkbrenner to come in and like totally solidify their front court or anything. But I think the fact that I feel like they can probably get a full game's worth of solid to good front court minutes. And then you have LaMelo Ball, and then you have Brandon Miller. You have Con Knipple as the connective piece. As much as I don't like the guy who shares a last name with someone who's a much better person and player, I think he's a good rotation wing. I just think they could be a much better team than health has allowed them to show. But again, a lot of it is riding on LaMelo Ball being healthy, and he just never is. So it's really just a bet on this will be a year that LaMelo finally gets healthy. And they have slowly started to add some real players to that team. So I'm not expecting like full playoff team, but firmly in the play-in mix for me.
Will Matias with you, agrees that, Charlotte Hornets, we're going to be pretty good. Theo says, Charles Lee, Dark Horse Coach of the Year.
Ooh.
That's going to be a lot of wins.
I am not going that far,
not going
Theo,
there,
but I love it.
But I like that one. All right, you went with the Miami Heat.
It's just a confidence in Spo. I don't like their roster really at all. It's a confidence in Spo, and then it's also like somebody unexpected. Like they'll find a freaking two-way guy who turns into like a legitimate starter because that's what they always do. And then, something like Ware or Jovic or something like that popping more than you expect. But really, it's just a confidence in Spo. Like, I think they'll end up winning 42 games or whatever. People will be like, oh, my God, I didn't expect them to be that good. And they're not a good team. They're certainly not a good playoff team. But I think Spo will get them overachieving the regular season.
I went with the Raptors in the East just because I feel like healthy Barnes, you get Ingram for a full training camp and the start of the year. They needed someone who could score. No one could score. RJ Barrett played. He had his couple of weeks and all of that. He couldn't score consistently. This guy, Brandon Ingram, we know can score the basketball. So you surround that with the other complementary scorers in Emmanuel Quickly, who can run the point and score, along with Barnes, who can do the versatility things. And then you bring in just different pieces to help overall with what they do. The coaches, he has their voice, from what I understand, and their defense may be a little bit better than, from what I understand, maybe a little bit better than a lot of us really believe. So I was like, you know what?
CMB.
I'm going with the Toronto Raptors here.
CMB changing the culture in Toronto.
Yeah, I don't know how high of a seed that is, but I think they're going to be a much better team than the one where we would see them come in, and then we're like, the Sixers better beat this team tonight because they're not good. They're going to be much better this year, I believe, in the East.
I think to your point, Devon, the thing I harp on with the Raptors is not that they're not talented. It's that I don't really see the vision for how the roster is set up. But if you can somehow extract the most out of all these different individual pieces, I think they certainly have more than enough just pure talent if they can put it together.
Yeah.
So I can see the vision for sure.
All right, little breaking news before we get to the West. We have AJ Green from the Milwaukee Bucks signing a 4-year extension $45 million fully guaranteed. Shooters, man, you get paid.
Quentin Grimes licking his chops. Like, you gave AJ Green how much?
You can only give me $39 million over 4 years.
There you go. AJ Green, 4 years and some good money. Shooting. You get paid if you can shoot in the NBA. AJ Green on a playoff team getting paid from the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, let's get to the West and the sleeper teams out West. What do we have here for these sleeper teams out West? That's okay. We didn't see it.
Okay, so the Spurs were also in consideration for me. But sadly, I have to say, I'm all in on the old man Clippers. The one last ride, Expendables Clippers. I think they are really deep, right?
They are.
They are.
But if they did have like the exact same record as last year, is that considered a sleeper?
I think there's a non-zero chance. Like, let's say our Denver stock is wrong. They're not quite as good. I think there's a non-zero chance the Clippers could be the second best team in the regular season in the Western Conference.
They were there for a long time last season, and
because I don't care basically at all about Bradley Beal, but you also have Bradley Beal on a $5 million contract, right? Kawhi, Harden, John Collins, by the way, John Collins will eat playing with James Harden. We saw him play with Trae Young, got a lot of easy buckets from him. Same concept. Harden got Zubats paid. A lot of easy pick and roll play with those guys. You have Bogdanovich. You have Derek Jones Jr. You have a stretch big in Brook Lopez. Batum is old, but is still a very smart player. Same thing with Chris Paul. Very smart player. You ask him to play that reserve backup point guard type of role when you can go from James Harden running the show to, hey, we have Chris Paul to just keep things organized for 15 minutes a night. The health part is going to be the biggest thing, right? There are so many guys that are complete question marks on that front, either because they've had health issues or they're just damn old. But if they stay healthy, I think this is going to be a really good team. And by the way, you add on all the bomber of it all,
and
those guys are going to use that as fuel, right? Like whether we think it's a ridiculous thing and cap circumvention or whatever, they will take that internally and be like, F everybody else. We're going to go out there and win a lot of games. So I'm a big believer in the healthy version of the Clippers,
I think
if it exists.
There's one flaw. James Harden's in the final year of his contract. There is a chance he calls Lawrence Frank a liar.
All right, fair. Get to your thoughts on the Spurs. I spoke about the Spurs a little bit earlier when we spoke about the head coach. Why do you?
I mean, I just think they're going to have a huge jump in wins. Obviously, Fox having a full year, Wemby taking a huge step, Harper. Like, I think they're just going to improve a lot. And I don't think they're a finished product. I certainly don't like how their guards. The shooting is a huge concern. The need to have the ball in your hand is a huge concern. But I think this could just be a year where Wemby takes such a giant step that they vault him up into, I don't know exactly how many wins, like mid to upper 40s, something like that. Mm-hmm. And because of that, they get a lot of attention for it.
I agree. All right, so those are our surprise teams in both the East and the West. Now let's get to the surprise players from the East and the West. Let's start with the East. Surprise players this year. I'll start off with the Nembhard piece. Derek, you picked him early on.
A lot of Andrew Nembhard propaganda on today's show.
I mean, this was part of my I with the surprise players. I was like, well, I feel like this is kind of like the most improved. But
the only reason I did it this way is because of what his role is now going to be, having the ball in his hands and what he's going to do. So we see him in the playoffs. If you get playoff Andrew Nembhard on both ends of the floor, that guy's probably making the All-Star team because that's how good he has been. And if the wins follow, Pascal Siakam will be the number one. If he can solidify that role as the number two, Mathurin, shots taken, and he's the third, Nembhard has a really good chance. Kyle, I was thinking long and hard about Buzelis, man. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He is a big-time motor, big-time athlete. He did quite a bit with few opportunities last year is the big thing for me. I think he got... Again, he's one of those guys that ended up in a non-college environment, and I think it masked his skills a little bit. Then he comes to the league, and hey, he shot a little bit better than expected. Oh, he's got some ball handling juice, right? And then you watch him in the preseason this year, and it looks like he's clearly gotten better. They're only going to feature him more as time goes on. So I don't know what to expect of the Bulls other than they will be the perpetual play-in competitors that they are. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he looks like in year 2.
He was almost my most improved player pick, but
Mhm.
I don't like giving second-year players most improved players.
Yep, absolutely. Just before we get to one more thing, Derek, you went with also a young guy, Ryan Rollins.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously the Bucks need something on the perimeter like that. Although the extension there, they're obviously committed to him. But I really liked the way he played last year. I thought the shooting improvement was notable, and they just really they've got a couple of options there on the perimeter. None of them are necessarily great, and I think there's going to be opportunity for him to take an even bigger step.
All right, before we get to the West, Kyle, you want to tell
a quick intermission to say, picture this, everyone, a fan cave that actually feels like your dream setup. Thanks to Ashley, that could be real. We are giving away a $2,500 Ashley Furniture gift card. Go big on a sectional, add some stylish pieces, or trick out your space for game day. It's all up to you. Just visit ashleyfancave.com, see if you're eligible, fill out the form, and that's it. You're entered for a $2,500 Ashley Furniture gift card. It's that simple. Enter now. You might be watching the next big game in a fan cave built by you, courtesy of Ashley.
And you've got months of games on just sit and relax on that Ashley Furniture. All right, let's get to the West and the surprise player out West, Jake LaRavia. Okay, we talked about him a lot.
Yep.
So Jake LaRavia was an easy one for me because he's the easy recipient of the Luka and LeBron stimulus package. It's like, hey, buddy, just go out there, make open threes, attack on closeouts, cut. He's going to have open shots, more open shots than he's probably ever had, bless you, than he's ever had during a normal season. It's going to be in a pretty good environment, basketball-wise. I don't know what to make of the Lakers generally, I would say, but that one's pretty straightforward for me.
That's a pretty good choice, cool choice. What you got, Derek, on Rob Dillingham? Ready? He's ready, huh?
Yeah,
He better be because they need him.
Well, that was part of it. It was one, I believed in him coming into the draft last year. And two, they really, really need him. Like, they really need somebody to step into that role. They're obviously very old at that guard spot, and they need someone to step forward. And I think he has a chance to do so. You know, he obviously had very limited time as a rookie, relatively limited time as a rookie. I don't think he looked completely overmatched when he did get a chance. And, it was a lot need-based.
For my choice, Scoot Henderson is hurt. Damian Lillard is not ready. And Anthony Simons is gone. And now you have an adult at the point guard position in Drew Holiday that will make life easier for Shaedon Sharpe. And I believe what is year 3 or 4 for him right now, probably 4.
And he's still super young because he
very,
came into
very
the
young.
league very young.
Yeah, super talented, very athletic, as we know. I think things open up for him, and it's much easier for him now under Chauncey Billups and the Portland Trailblazers. They played really well towards the end of the season. Denny Avdia was fantastic. And
I almost
they're just
threw
out west.
Tumani Kamara in the mix here because he's a tremendous defender. I think he's going to start getting more respect.
NBA defensive guy for sure
Yeah.
going forward. So I went with Shaedon Sharpe because I just think that he has the opportunity to score a lot of points for that basketball team. And playing with Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons for all those years, and now finally getting his opportunity, I think he's going to be a really good player out west. Not all-star or anything like that, but probably 20-point scorer now for that basketball team. All right. Before we get to our Eastern and Western Conference champions in the matchup for the NBA Finals, let's let everybody know that we are getting ready to head to overtime here for a few minutes at allphly.com. So a little overtime here on the show. I think we did a pretty good job of pacing things here.
I was going to say, these prediction shows are normally like an hour and a half long, and we tried our best today to 5 minutes or less for every segment, and just good job by Devon playing our point guard instead of saying, you two just cook as much as you want to.
You guys always cook. Just make sure if you miss some things that we talked about earlier part of the show, it's always available for you to go back on YouTube. And when, like Derek said, we're going to ask you to submit yours. So if you want to go back and look at ours in that first 60 minutes and you want to see what we did so you don't maybe duplicate, you go back in our show as always and just simply go check it out at YouTube. Of course, youtube.com/PHLY_Sixers. and you or sports, and you go right to our page, and you got us covered here. So thank you on the television side. We appreciate it. Back here tomorrow for post game only, no pregame.
By the way, I just want to say, got to call it out in the middle of the show. Theo just joined the Diehard Discord in the middle of the show. It was being talked about with Bree and some others in the chat, and Theo said, "You know what? That's my motivation to get in there." And by the way, Theo, this shows you we pay enough attention to the Discord. By we, I mean Derek and I.
Yes,
Devon is.
It's a bit now for the show.
Devon's
I'm not going
like
there.
Young Thug said about James Harden. He don't have internet. We are always paying attention to using the Discord, chatting with people. So good to see you pop up in there, Theo, and great to see obviously a lot of our regular Discord members in the YouTube chat as always.
Thank you, Theo. Really appreciate it. Let's get to our Eastern and Western Conference champs. Let's start in the East. Who are the champs in the East? Bree.
Wow. Derek going out on a limb.
Jamal Mosley, boy.
So here's my reasoning.
You didn't want to pick the Knicks.
I can't pick the fucking Knicks. I just can't.
There we go. Overtime. Yeah.
And look, you know, if they get into a deep playoff run, I'm there for you. I'm there for your family. But coming into the season, ain't no way in hell.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't want to pick. I don't want to go chalk on my picks. And the Cavs are the obvious. Well, they win 64 games last year, something absurd.
Yeah.
This should be their year. It just felt a little boring. And then you add in the playoff failures that they've had. I didn't want to do it. So then it became, all right, look, I think the Magic improved. I think they're probably the third best team in the conference right now. Like I said, I can't pick the Knicks for reasons. And I want to make something a little bit bolder. So I do think, look, I think the Cavs are the most likely. They should have the best odds. But need to have a little bit of fun.
This is fun.
There is a term I would use to describe the Cavs: studio gangsters. I do not believe in them when push comes to shove. I get it. They were a great regular season team. Donovan Mitchell is a great playoff player. The rest of that core, I'm just
Kyle, I
don't buy it.
With the bold prediction with the trade thing, I almost went Darius Garland for that reason.
Yeah,
because I don't trust them.
I don't. There's and look,
they get knocked out in the first round, like they did.
There have been a lot of opportunities for them to not like win the title. Last year was the first time they would have had those type of expectations, but a bunch of years in a row now, we're like, hey, Cavs are a good team. They got good talent, and just kind of nothing's materializing. So if it doesn't happen this year, I feel like it's never going to happen. But the Knicks, to me, with all these guys coming back, having just made the conference finals run, I am not a big Mike Brown guy. I will say that, but I wasn't necessarily like a huge Tibbs guy either. Like, he's a great culture and tone setter, and you have him for 2-3 years and he builds everything up. But I don't necessarily think you need tons with that team. They have the right types of players and different styles they can play in the playoffs. And I went with the boring answer. I didn't want to, but I did.
Me too. Me too.
Fuck the Knicks.
Little breaking news once again. We got a little breaking news. Bad one here, but it helps Kyle's pick for Sixth Man of the Year. Not that he wants it this way. Jaden Ivey, who Kyle mentioned out last year with that leg injury that he sustained, has underwent arthroscopic procedure, according to Shams, to relieve right knee discomfort, and will be reevaluated in 4 weeks.
Man, that's a bummer.
So that's unfortunate for Jaden Ivey, who a lot of us, Kyle mentioned it, a lot of us just looking forward to having him back healthy and see the opportunity that he would get in the backcourt with an all-star now, Cade Cunningham, and a coach that seems to believe in the work that he did, playing him as much as he did last year. Unfortunate to have to undergo surgery again because of that. It was a gruesome injury in and of itself in the first place. And I'm glad that it happened early in the season so he can still have a long runway whenever he does get back to see if he can get back into the mix with this basketball team. So we'll see how that ultimately plays out. All right, yeah, I went with the Knicks with Kyle. I don't have a lot to that. It's just the Knicks are good, and we'll see how it goes. Some Sixers in the chat, though, that are like, no, we're getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Vinny, our guy Vinny, is in there. He said it. I saw Ramid say Sixers in 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals as well, and we'll see. But I went with the Knicks. Derek went with Orlando. All right, I'm in agreement with Kyle on this one. Let's go out west for the conference champs.
Yeah, I mean,
We said it earlier.
I will say, I originally picked the Nuggets,
I did not.
and then I went back on it.
I just
and
stuck
was like,
with
nah.
OKC.
Because there's so for me, you can look at it one of two ways. One is the simple way, which is that the Thunder were the best team. They climbed the summit, so now they got all the stuff out of the way, right? Like the first big playoff run, the first finals appearance, blah 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 blah, and like now everything gets easy, right? Even if they're not the same level regular season team, they can turn it on. They know what it takes to win a title. The other part of me though is like, well, maybe they got a little fortunate with the Halliburton thing. They barely survived the Denver series, and maybe they're very good, but they're still lacking that oomph of a team that's going to repeat and be this like dynastic type of team. And they'll also be, unlike last year, they will be number one on every team scouting report. Like any list, any circle the date type of game.
Yep.
You're not the young team sneaking up on people anymore. And so does that add a physical toll? Does it add a mental toll? I don't know. But I felt wrong picking against them, so I just rolled with the Thunder.
Hey, man,
again.
we went with the MVP and the Coach of the Year. So we gave them their props, and they'll be in the Western Conference Finals. OKC, any extra thoughts? It's OKC. They're good.
they're a really good basketball team.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, they're really good. I don't have much to
Like
add
they won
there.
60. How many did they win last year? 60. It doesn't matter. They won a ton of
I think it was
games.
67 or
68.
68.
And how many did
68.
Chet miss?
A lot.
They're
Play
just
like 30
really good basketball team.
Yeah. Well, real fast. Who is the who
68. You guys are correct.
who's going to play the Knicks if you have the Magic? Are they playing the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, just because I don't believe in the Cavs. I will let the Knicks have a little bit of fun and then get their hearts killed in the conference.
We have the Knicks. Who do you have them playing in the Eastern Conference Finals?
I don't know, man. Like the Cavs, I guess. I just only really believe in the Knicks out of teams in the East. I want to get there with the Sixers, but we are months away from being able to make declarations there. So I'll just go chalk.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't. The Magic were my upset pick, so I don't have.
Fair enough. All right. Let's get to the final one of the show.
Don't you do it, Devon.
That is the NBA champs.
Don't you do it.
Who do we have?
Oh, thank God. Thank God. I thought he was going to do it. I felt it in my soul that I was going to have to hear the Mikal Bridges Finals MVP stump speech over here. So
I'll do that when he wins it. But
Yeah.
right now, the OKC is really good. And we'll
OKC
have to
is very
see,
good.
when we get there. One thing that we did talk about before we sign off, everybody, was Jason Tatum is out. He's normally that fifth first team all NBA guy. We didn't put it in there to go with Luka, Jokic, Shai, and who was the Giannis. Do we have a fifth for you guys that might take up that final spot that's going to be vacated now?
Kelly Oubre.
Love it.
Steph Curry. Keep an eye on. I think he's got a bright
This
future in the
little
league.
no-name player, Steph Curry.
He's-
Keep an eye on
I
him.
think he's got a bright
I'm
future.
noticing.
I go Jalen Brunson on this one because of where they'll be in the Eastern Conference. It's the biggest market, as we know, and I'll say Jalen Brunson for that one.
He had to get the Knicks propaganda in there somewhere.
Knicks propaganda. Yes. Ramiz calling me out. No, I wanted to do it. Nah, I didn't want to. I wasn't going to say the Knicks. I got to see it first.
All right, here's my question. If the Nuggets come out of the West, or a non-Thunder team, let's say, your choice of Western Conference team that's not the Thunder, are you picking the team out of the East, or are we just expecting best of the West is winning the title?
Yeah, if either the Nuggets or the Thunder take the West, I think they win it.
I would agree.
After that, it can get a little bit interesting. Because quite frankly, I wouldn't even know who my third team would be.
I
There's so
can't
many
even.
different-
I mean, look, Warriors, maybe the old man. Again, nothing would bring me more joy than the old man Expendables Clippers somehow winning the title for all the reasons that would make people mad. But
the Van Vliet injury really is a bummer. Like that's a huge bummer.
I would say that Minnesota's gotten to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards seemingly is on a mission of this
I do-
offseason. Well, we haven't seen anything.
By the
from
way,
him.
after you're done here, I have an Anthony Edwards.
We haven't
thing.
seen anything from him all
Yeah.
all off season, except for hearing whispers that he talked to Michael Jordan a lot and things like that. If there's anybody that breaks the door down past Denver or OKC, I'm choosing the Timberwolves.
I did like their backcourt concerns me. Like I know I took Dillingham, but like part of that's just because Conley's
Conley is
110 years old, and
Right.
I just don't.
Kyle, I think I know where you're going with Anthony Edwards. The awards.
Anthony Edwards did his own, what they were called, the Believe That Awards.
Believe that. Yeah.
Maybe the most chaotic thing I've ever seen, because they did Artist of the Year and nominated Drake and Kendrick. Like, I feel like if you
Pick a side, man.
you can't nominate both. That's one where it's like either you were on one side or the other, and everyone knows that watches the show regularly what side I was on there. But that was a whole thing in itself.
One guy went to court and lost. He lost. He can't be in the mix.
But I've won a Reporting of the Year award. Next on the list, I gotta win White Boy of the Year.
White
award.
boy of the year, man.
Shout out to Timothée Chalamet. So it was so funny seeing the graphic. I sent this to so many of my friends last night. I was like, this will be used in group chats in perpetuity. It's Timmy Chalamet with the Knicks gear and the sunglasses on sitting courtside. The collection of people that got nominated was so insane. It was him, Adam Sandler, Mr. Beast, Pat McAfee, and I'm forgetting the fifth person right now. But I think well-deserved honor for, I can't say friend of the show, Timmy Chalamet, but respect the game of Timmy Chalamet. Hopefully next year I can get in the mix for that.
Tim
one.
had a good run, man. He went all the way up to the Eastern Conference Finals. He was all over TV and the whole Jenner thing.
I saw that
He's
and
all
I
over
was
the
just
place.
cracking up,
Yeah,
man. Like
yeah.
that
White
was
Boy of the Year. We got to nominate
White
Kyle
Boy of the Year
next
award.
year
Oh,
for that.
the fifth guy, Tom Cruise for White Boy of the Year. Anthony Edwards must love the Mission Impossible movies. That's the only thing I.
And he was a big
of.
supporter of Sinners. He was all
you
over
know what?
Michael B. Jordan, and of
Maybe
how much he
that's
loved
it.
Michael B. Jordan and what they did with that film, showing up at the premiere in like another country. So maybe that was a big part of it too.
Yeah. So
With that one, but yes, White Boy of the Year. We got to nominate Kyle next year for that.
Ant
one.
Man, I'm starting the campaign now.
You guys start signing off with Believe
I
That.
put you in the
You gotta
top
believe
5
that.
players going into last year. I believe in you, brother. Believe in me.
Send them some Ant 2s, man. Send them some. Send them some. All right, let's get ready to sign off, everybody. This was a fun show. We'll see how good or bad we did at the end of the year. We'll, of course, monitor it as we go along. We got Taylor Jenkins fired in the middle at the end of the season. And, all that.
That's the
good
power
stuff.
of PHLY Sixers.
Yes, it is. So we want to say thank you to everybody as always. We really appreciate it. Make sure, again, show notes. We're back tomorrow post-game. Post-game only, no pregame tomorrow. Final tune-up against the Minnesota Timberwolves that we just talked about with Anthony Edwards. Tomorrow, their final tune-up in the preseason game at home in South Philly against the Philadelphia 76ers. So let's get ready to say goodbye to everybody. We thank you all. The world-famous roll call.
Thank you, everybody, for stopping through today.
I know you saw your guy in there.
Wilford Brimley? Of course I did. I was first going to say, what was the deal with yelling about pink shoes in the chat today?
I don't know. And I just
That
kept
was-
moving.
No idea.
No clue.
That was strange. But
What was it, Bree?
Bree laid the hammer down. She said, fuck out of here, dickhead, with your pink shoe trash.
Kyle's going full overtime now.
Hey, man, we're an hour 15
I've
in.
got pink hoodies, pink T-shirts.
I got pink dress
pink
shirts.
sneakers with some
Anyway.
other colors in there. It's all good.
Listen, you don't have to like pink, but you also don't have to make it your personality in the chat that you don't like pink shoes. Anyway, thank you to Mom's grandchildren. What's up to Mom? What's
Hey,
up to
Mom.
Maple,
See you
Jeffrey
this
Stewart, Ramid, who his name got auto-corrected to Rammed in this note.
What up,
We're
man?
talking about funny autocorrects for names.
See?
Smog Guy, a.k.a.
Smoggy?
Smoggy.
Now, I don't think Ramid's going to want that.
No,
No,
we're calling him
That's a
Ramid. That is
one-time
his
thing.
name.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
It's a one-off.
What up, Mitch?
Thank you to Val. Thank you to my girl Nona.
Hey, ladies.
Thank you to Jess. Thank you to Densley. David Wolfson. Thank you to Miko Suave. I love that name.
Miko.
Man. Thank you to
Suave.
Habib215. Thank you to Vince Pellegrini
What
stepping
up,
through
Vinny?
in the chat today. Music Lover 31.
Play
Mike
that
Burton.
music.
Cenobite Mayor. Siren. SB Cole.
That's a pretty good show. Sorry.
The legend himself has returned with a new avatar. Be pumped. Pump it up. With the ace propaganda, as always.
He's ready. First team.
Thank you to Hedfa, who is predicting the Sixers will win every game and every award. I love the optimism. Thank you for being
Same
here,
with
Hedfa.
Gene Ross, 99-0. He
99-0 for Eugene Ross.
But he made a point, 99-0.
Thank you to Coleman Potts, B. Knight. Of course, once again, the legend, Wilfred Brimley. Thank you to Say What?
He said, check your cholesterol.
Oh my God. Diabetes. Thank you to Hot Hand Keese, who checked in from Florida today. Code Rand, Dave P,
What
Lee
up,
Nguyen,
Code
Hinky,
Rand?
Kay Taylor, and the legendary Jorge stopping through. What's up to Jorge?
He's coming off the bench, dropping 30 every day.
Dropping bombs
What up, Jorge?
from all over the floor.
We love
Thank
it.
you, everybody
And
who
Nona,
was
we
here
see
today.
you. We try to mix in everybody. You know we love you. Nona, we love you. Come on, you know.
I already said Nona's name. She knows
I
that.
think we missed some of her comments and we mentioned some others. Nona, come on, we love you. Come on.
Thank you, everybody, for being here today. On the way out, if you could please hit the like button on this video. It helps me sleep at night. It helps the channel a great deal. It's a thank you, mostly, to super producer Bree, who made all those graphics, who's doing the transitions between
Oh, she was fantastic.
different parts of the show. All kinds of things are happening that you guys just, maybe you take it for granted, but we don't. So say thank you to Bree by hitting the thumbs up button on this video. Please also hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you get notifications each and every time we go live. That bell has seen better days. That bell needs to ramp it up going into the regular season. Guys, we'll be back for post-game tomorrow after Sixers Wolves.
Me and Rich.
And then next week, season debut week, everything to play for, everything in front of
George.
them. So we'll see you
Joel.
tomorrow night after the game for Sixers Wolves post-game. Until then, stay safe. Take care of one another. Goodbye.
See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.